So we are coming to the end of July and many films seem to be moving off their original release dates, and on top of this we still haven't had a June 2020 trailer. Many people on my videos over the last month have been asking what I think towards there being a delay and also when we could be seeing the start of the marketing. So I thought I'd do a brief video giving you my thoughts on both of these topics. Before I get into it though, if you want to see much more videos on Dune leading up to its release date, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into a discussion surrounding the current release date and marketing for Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Starting off, I want to discuss the current release date for the film. Now at this point we are still around 5 months from Dune releasing, and with everything going on in the world right now, it's important to note that we are looking at a short-term landscape. Applying this to Dune, we don't know what the industry will look like come the next few months. We still haven't had a new tentpole film release in theatres, and if the same can be said a few months down the line, then it will become increasingly unlikely that Dune will release. However, there are some recent hints that many are still remaining positive that Warner Bros. Can release the film this December. The newest graphic novel, which was scheduled to release towards the end of this year, has recently been rescheduled to come out on December the 18th, and obviously this is the date for the adaptation release from Denis Villeneuve. What this tells us is that the week commencing on December the 14th is remaining a big week for the world of Dune. Now of course they could push the film beyond this week if things still aren't looking to improve, but it's still a positive sign that those involved with the newest iterations of Dune want to keep a focus on releasing them towards the back part of this year. But when we direct our focus specifically towards the film, the only example we can use to predict whether this film will release is Christopher Nolan's Tenet. If you're not already aware, Tenet is really the first big film that is looking to release once this whole virus issue starts to slow down. But as the film is continuously having to delay its release date, all the other films around it are also doing the same. The main slate of theatrical releases are currently being pushed towards the end of this year, or even as late as 2021. The next big film in that crossfire, which hasn't allocated a new release date, is Dune, and this is starting to make fans worried towards whether they will see the film come the end of this year. The way we can really look into whether it will release is by looking at the marketing. Now, we are currently scheduled to have a first trailer drop soon, or from what we last heard, that was the case. As I said back on a video I did in January, Warner Bros. Always tend to market their November and December releases in the middle of summer. This became even more clearer when we heard that Inception was getting a re-release and WB were aiming to advertise their 2020 film slate in front of those screenings. Now, the only big 3 films on that slate are Tenet, Wonder Woman and Dune, so it was highly likely that we were going to be getting a Dune trailer in front of the 10th anniversary re-release of Inception. Currently, Inception is scheduled for July 31st, but based on where I live, there are still no screening times announced for that film, and I'm hearing similar things around the globe. Now, whether they delay Inception by a few weeks or even indefinitely, at this point we can't really tell what their plans are to show the previews, and of course if this re-release will even hit theatres. But I think we should all keep an eye out for whenever they do start screening Inception or even Tenet, as that would be a sweet spot for this Dune trailer with the WB previews. But the reason the trailer and the marketing is going to indicate whether Dune will release this December is because they haven't even started the marketing campaign. And with a film as big as Dune, with its budget and also the expectations of many people, this will have to start the marketing if they have any hope of releasing Dune on December the 18th. Warner Bros. Don't want a repeat of Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049, where the film didn't make as much money at the box office, and having a good marketing campaign is really going to help broaden Dune to audiences who haven't read the book. This is how they are going to make Dune a success worldwide, and the marketing is going to be a big part of that success. So really, although we are living in a short-term basis with theatrical releases, the best indicator of whether Dune is releasing this year is going to be that first trailer. Because once they commit to starting the marketing push for the film, until of course they can't possibly release it, that's the only hope that we will see it this year. I myself am still positive they will release the film come December, but that's only if things start to improve and blockbuster films start to release before Dune and show box office performance. It makes people in the theatrical landscape much more confident towards advertising the film and also releasing it in December. We'll have to see, but I think the next month and a half is going to be crucial to seeing whether Dune will actually release. Because if we come to the end of August and there is still no Dune trailer, then it will start to become incredibly unlikely that they would release the film. Either way, I'm still confident things can turn around, and like the people working on the film, I believe that Dune deserves to be shown on huge screens around the world. It's not a film that calls for a digital release, and the budget seems to be way too large to even have a digital release. With Villeneuve involved, he will surely stick to his guns like Nolan has with Tenet to make sure the film is first shown to audiences in theatres. It was made for that experience, and it will only help to keep theatres alive if it sustains the interest in the movie-going experience after the pandemic ends. But that was my thoughts on the June 2020 release date, alongside the hope we all have for this first trailer. Again, I think the landscape we are living in right now is one that is continuously changing to a short-term degree, and anything can happen over the next few months. Hopefully we do get some positivity through the release of a first trailer, which could hint that Warner Brothers are sticking to a December release date. I do think the marketing will begin this August if we start to get some better news on the new films coming out around the globe, and this will allow the studio to have more trust in the film's current release date. But regardless of what I think, I'm interested to hear what all of you guys have to say on the June release date and the first trailer, so let me know down below in the comment section. Also, I just want to end this video by saying to all of my Dune subscribers and new viewers that because we have entered a period with hardly any news being released on the film, that this is why there hasn't been as frequent uploads as I would have liked. As I am also still finishing the first novel, this is something that will allow for more discussions on how Villeneuve will approach certain elements, so over time the uploads on Dune will become much more frequent here on the channel. Hopefully we will get a lot more news on the film to discuss in the upcoming months, and I want to thank all of you guys for all of the constant support, especially on the Dune content that I've been putting out. But for more videos surrounding Dune leading up to its eventual release date, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. I will be covering news and topics for the film whenever new information comes out, alongside other content on the book and previous adaptations. So look out for all of my Dune videos during the back part of this year. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.